Indestructible Gaming. Select your character. Musket Shot. Mr. K. Let the battle begin. Get ready for a battle unknown. 3, 2, 1.
Hello and welcome to Indestructible Gaming and more. I am Musket Shot. Alongside me is my co-host, Mr. K. Mr. K, hello.
Welcome back, everyone.
Yeah,
We decided to change up our schedule a little bit.
Took a little hiatus.
Again, we apologize for that.
So we're back though, doing some episodes and playing some games and stuff. So cool. This episode is a game called Gang Beasts, and
this one has been pretty popular. This one's been around places. If you haven't heard about this, I'd be a little surprised.
Yeah,
because this was one of those things where everyone played it on YouTube. It was a very popular game.
Yeah, this has been around since it got released in 2017. So I'm sure you've probably seen it somewhere, whether it's on Xbox or Steam or somewhere else. If you've been to a gaming convention, you've probably seen it. It's developed and published by Bone Loaf. It's a E for everyone type of game. And I think it's on, like I said, I think it's on all the different gaming platforms. So you've probably seen it, like I said, somewhere. You want to just give a quick synopsis of the game there?
So this game is pretty much a fighting game, where you fight, and there's depending on the game modes you play, because there's different ones. If you go for the main game mode, the premise of the game is you have to be the last one surviving, and in order to do that, you have to knock out the enemies surrounding you, which you're basically like clay people. There's not much of a story to this game.
Yeah, they're very wobbly looking characters. There's several games that are out there that have characters similar to their
very similar.
There's a game that we reviewed a while back, the battle one. I'm drawing a blank on the name of it.
Tabs?
Yes, Tabs.
Totally accurate battle simulator.
Yeah. Sort of similar to that, except that Gang Beasts, the characters all seem to be about the same height, same size and build and all that stuff for the most part. But they're very wobbly characters. They can get knocked over pretty easy in the fights and stuff like that. Yeah, there's all kinds of different environments too to fight in, which is some of them have hazardous items in them, or things you can fall into. There's one that you fall. The floor opens up, and it's like, I think it's like a meat grinding factory or something like that, isn't it?
It probably is. I'd have to assume.
Yeah.
But there's multiple stages with meat included in them, so it's kind of hard to. I'm trying to imagine the stage you're talking about.
Yeah. There's different.
There's one with one with meat going down one of those conveyor belts into one, and then the meat grinding pit.
Yeah.
And then you got the ones where it's like a fan room that lifts you up as you fight. I'm pretty sure there has like a link of sausage in there.
Yeah, there's all kinds of weird environments. Like one of the environments you can fight in is you're in glass elevators on the side of a building, and there's 2 glass elevators, and you can jump from one to the other and stuff like that.
Of course, you have to smash the windows, though.
Yeah,
that's pretty essential.
Yeah, well, you can you smash the windows either by doing it yourself or smashing somebody's head.
Other person through the window. Just you can throw their bodies.
Yeah,
that's the thing you can do.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of things where the characters, they can pick up people, the opponents.
In terms of gameplay, there's just grappling, punching, and then you can also just kind of ragdoll and fall over.
Yeah.
That's also a button you can use.
Yeah. There's kicking, I guess, too, right? And stuff like that.
Yeah, there is kicking.
You know, it's mostly the grabbing and punching type of stuff. And like happens most of the time. You can customize your characters as well if you want to create your own character. There's all kinds of different outfits and different things you can put on them.
Some, if not most of them, are references to movies and TV shows. Like there's a Back to the Future one, as well as a Rick and Morty costume and hair.
Yep.
So
yeah, there's a lot to choose from too. Like if you don't want to create a character, there's a lot.
They give you plenty of good amounts.
Yeah. It's a multiplayer game, so if you're playing by yourself,
you can play by yourself, but the only thing you can pretty much do is the AI.
Yeah.
Which is like a wave-based combat thing. Not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah, this is one of those games that's best if you can get, you know, friends to play, 4 or 5 friends to play, and you go into you can do a private game and fight, or you can, I guess you can go into a match where they pull in other players, but it's best if you can do it together because it's a little bit more fun, obviously. And then the environments, once there's a winner, and basically the winner is whoever's the last one alive, it'll switch to another environment pretty quickly. And you don't really get to choose the environment you're going to go into next. It's just sort of random, right? Because I don't remember it being like there was nothing that we could choose.
It's not like it's random maps, but the maps are always going to be the same.
Yeah. Okay.
So they're not like it's randomized, but it's not generated randomly. Right. It's the same layout.
Yeah. One of the things you can do too is if you got an opponent that's pushing you down something and you're gonna end up dying, you can hopefully drag them with you.
You can grab onto them.
If you can grab onto them and drag them with you, a lot of times.
But they can also grab onto the floor and make you not be able to pull them down.
Yeah.
It really depends on how you do things in the game with the controls. If you know how to play and understand, you probably do decently well. Mm-hmm. But when you're first picking it up, the controls are very weird and you have to get used to it. But that comes from a game with that kind of style. The other games that we've played or talked about have really clunky controls with those type of looking characters.
Yeah, this one is like you have to sort of get used to the character's movements because it's not particularly easy to control them sometimes.
They're drunk.
Yes.
Not completely drunk, but enough that if you just poked one, it would probably fall over just a tad bit.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's hard to control sometimes.
Do you know what they're kind of like? They're like those, one of those toys where you bop them and it comes back up.
Yeah.
And kind of like that, but drunk.
Yeah. Well, they kind of remind me of like Weeble Wobbles when I was a kid.
Those things, yeah, Weeble Wobbles. Yeah. I'm thinking of those and those little clown bop it things you buy.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and then I mean that's one of the biggest things I think is it's hard to get used to. But one of the things I don't particularly like about the game is that there's moments in the game where either A, your character is in a position where you really can't do anything with them because either A, you can't see them, or B, they're in a location where you can't figure out if they're hanging on to something or if it's just stuck, if it's a glitch or stuff. There's some environments, like one of them that I think is really difficult is one where you're up on these big containers up in the sky and you're fighting and stuff like that. And there's times where your character might be on the other side of the container that's sort of spinning around slowly. And now you can't even see where your character is. And you don't want to fall off, but you're kind of like stuck at a point where you're like, okay, I'm just going to hang on, I hope. Well, and then there's times where I think we were playing one time where you were hanging on maybe one of those or something like that. And I think your brother and I were fighting and we both fell off and we thought, oh, well, one of us won. And it was like, and then we realized that you were still hanging on somewhere.
Oh yeah. That was one of you couldn't see me because I was like really far beneath the map and was holding on to the wall somehow.
Yeah. So
Sometimes sometimes it's just luck you win.
yeah. So it's that's one of the things with the game. It's a little, it can be a little frustrating at times.
The best way to describe it is janky, but in the fun way.
Yeah. So sometimes you'll be like, what the heck? Like, I didn't know you were still there, or I didn't, I won because I was hanging on, down below and nobody could see me. So I just watched everybody beat themselves up and throw them off. But it's a pretty fun game. There's not a lot to learn.
I wish
it's kind of a button mash a little bit.
And the soundtrack's there, but it's nothing really to grasp onto, really.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be more focused on combat rather than the music.
Yeah.
Since it's so chaotic.
Yeah.
Half the time I wasn't really paying attention to it, honestly. So I can't say it's the best soundtrack because it didn't grab my attention. But I can't say it was the worst either because I wasn't asking for the game to be over.
Right.
So...
yeah, I mean, some of the matches will happen pretty quickly, too. I mean, depending on how people get knocked out of the game, knocked out of the match and stuff like that. So some of them could be over in a couple of minutes, and some of them can last a long time. And just, sometimes you can really hold on and fight off, one or two people and keep running around and doing different things. So it's a pretty fun game though, for the most part. It's a good party game, and
oh yeah, for sure,
definitely have people laughing.
How many players could it go up to? I forgot. It was a good amount.
Yeah, I don't remember off the top of my head. I
think it was like 8 local.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, I've seen it played at like PAX East and some like conventions like that where they had like maybe 6 people playing it or something like that. And it is fun to watch too, because it's like total chaos watching everybody run around and grab stuff and grab each other. And, you're watching a character almost fall off into something and get destroyed, and then they hang on somehow and they climb back up. And it's usually a pretty fun game to watch too, as well. So anything else that we can think of on this game? It's pretty much
other than asking for easier, like more fun single player content other than having it wave based.
Mm-hmm.
I wish they could just have it so you could play it like the normal way,
mm-hmm.
like how me and you played.
Yeah,
instead of just having to be waved in like a certain area. It's not really that fun because eventually you're gonna die, so you really have no chance of winning.
All right,
but
yeah, and I was reading a couple of reviews just out of curiosity to see what people were saying, and somebody did mention that the wave matches were quite difficult at times. And they felt like the AIs had a superior advantage.
Yeah, they actually throw like really buff ones at you.
Yeah.
So that's really hard to deal with because I remember I was in the wrestling ring area and they threw one of those buff guys at me. And he literally hit me once and he knocked me out and I lost instantly. It was overpowered.
Yeah, that's one of the things with this game too, is your character could get knocked unconscious basically. And then once they get knocked unconscious, if others can grab you and pick you up, you may not even have
all
a
you
chance.
Can pretty much do is mash buttons until you wake up.
Yeah, mash the buttons, hope you wake up in time and can get away from them or something.
But overall, I mean, the game's good. Don't get me wrong, the game is fun with people, but I mean, would I play this game a lot? No, not really. I like this game, but even with people, it does start to bear after a while, after like an hour, because it's the same thing. They don't add anything new. You just keep going and going and going. But I would say if you haven't played it before, go for it. I think you'll have fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure the family or friends would enjoy it too.
Yep.
I would have to give it a 7 out of 10.
Yeah. I'll agree with you on that. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. Same reasons. I think it's good party game type thing. Play with friends and stuff like that. It's probably not something you're going to play for hours on end. Play for maybe like an hour and then you'd probably be done with it and not something you'd play every weekend, but it's a fun game to play. And if it's, especially if it's available, it's on Game Pass. I know that right now on Xbox. So if it's available like that, I would say download it, have some fun with it with some friends. If you're gonna be buying it, then maybe it's something if you're gonna be playing games with friends, it might be one to add to your pile of games that you play that when you get together. But you may not want to spend full money on it. I'm not sure what it would cost, like on Steam or something like that. But for Xbox, it's great because we have the Game Pass, so you're paying for that, and then you can just download the games and try them out. So that one is it on Gang Beasts, I guess. There's really not much else to talk about on that one.
Yeah. Next episode, we have a special guest for the creator of the game called Spacelines from the Far Out.
Yep. Yeah, we have we had an opportunity to interview Fabio Rosa, who is a co-founder of Coffee Knots. And Coffee Knots is the developer of Spacelines from the Far Out. So you'll hear our review on the game, but also an interview with it, and then we'll also do a separate podcast with just the interview in case you just want to listen to the interview itself. So give you that option. But great developer, great guy. A lot of good advice if you're a developer just starting out. So definitely worth the time to listen to that podcast and hear what he has to say.
If you like space, I'm sure you'll like the episode.
Yes. Funky space. No. All right. That's all I got.
Stay indestructible, folks.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Peace.
Game over.
Hey guys, how's it going? I hope you enjoyed the episode. We're on Facebook and Twitter, and if you go on our website with the same name, you can also find us on all the other kinds of stuff you can listen to us to. Anyways, hope you have a wonderful day, folks. Stay indestructible, and peace.